What it do, Cancer? How y'all doing, man? It's time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the first week of September. September week 1. All right, so any of you who need a personal reading, you can always just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I do have a link for that right down here in the description of this video. Also, don't forget, tomorrow, August 30th, at 11 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to be doing our next round of weekly live readings right here on this channel. We're back on now, y'all. I know we took a break for a couple of weeks, but we're back on. So $22.22, you can pre-order on my website. Right now, per usual, the list of pre-orders is still small. So any of the orders that come in overnight will be in the very front of the line. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Let's see what we can tell you about your situation and the person you're dealing with in the first week of September. What can we tell Cancer about their situation and the person they're dealing with in the first week of September? Knight of Pentacles. Some of y'all dealing with an earth sign. Let's get 3 shuffles. There's 1, 2, and 3. I guess YouTube's not notifying people tonight, huh? So fucking retarded. You know they do that shit on purpose. They do that shit on purpose. It's 2020 fucking 5. Ain't no reason why, YouTube notifies you for one video, but not for the next. 500 people show up to this live stream, and then 7 people show up to the next one. You know they do that shit on purpose. But anyway, the show must go on. So, some of you dealing with a Libra, also have Aquarius, could be a fellow Cancer for some of you. Now, this is the tricky part, is the first spread is just a general energetic overview. You're suspecting that this person might be gaslighting you and playing mind games with you. But it also seems like this person really genuinely is in love with you, So you're doing the best you can to try to make the most logical, fair, rational, reasonable decision, Some of you could be dealing with a third-party situation, or possibly even a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th party. I don't know. I really feel like this is one of those types of situations where you're really starting to feel like you have to just put your foot down. Put your foot down and lay down the fucking law, So, okay. Doesn't really look like much action's happening here, though. I won't lie. I'm not really seeing very much. If any action is coming out back and forth. With the Knight of Pentacles upright, Knight of Cups reversed. So with back and forth action like that, Page of Cups upright, Page of Cups reversed, King of Wands upright, back and forth, 2 of Wands. This looks like a really confusing decision that needs to be made. Are y'all just pulling your fucking hair out? I'm about to pull mine out just trying to read this shit. Some of you dealing with a Leo, possibly. All right, whatever. Let's see their truest feelings, energies, and intentions. Oh, now there's a couple of you in here. Did y'all get notified? Let me know. Did you get notified? I was just saying a minute ago before everybody showed up. Fucking YouTube does that shit on purpose. It's been that way the whole... Today is my 7-year anniversary as a YouTube tarot reader. 7 years ago today was when I very first sat down and put my first tarot video on YouTube. The whole 7 years it's been like that. Since 2018. It's been like that. One live stream, 500 people show up. The next live stream, 20 people. Right? And everybody's like, I didn't get notified. People will email me, I'm not getting notified for your lives anymore. What happened? It ain't me, it's YouTube. YouTube does that shit on purpose, dude. I know they do. I've been watching the numbers and watching everything for too fucking long. They do that shit on purpose. So, anyway. All right. Enough babbling about YouTube. Let's see this person's truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. Let's see. How do they really see you? How do they feel about you? What are their thoughts, feelings, and opinions? Hopes, dreams, and expectations? You know what? They know that in order to be with you, they're going to have to step their game up. They know that. And how am I going to say? I got to be careful how I word this. They know in order to be with you, they're going to have to step up their game. Now, they don't feel confident enough in their ability to step their game up, if that makes sense. Let me use a really easy example, an easy analogy. Let's say that you're really into fitness. And in order to be with you, I got to be into fitness and I got to start going to the gym too. Well, what's stopping me? What's stopping me from eating healthy and going to the gym? My own fucking laziness. That's it. That's really it. Ain't nothing stopping me. If I really, really wanted to and I was dedicated enough, I'd start eating right, start going to the gym. But if I'm a lazy fuck, and that's going to intimidate the shit out of me. That's going to intimidate me. Goddamn, we got to go into the gym every day and lift heavy shit and do uncomfortable shit every day. That's uncomfortable, man. Similarly, they know they're going to have to step their game up. And I don't think they have the confidence to, whatever it is in whatever aspect of their life, step their game up, whether it's just being a responsible individual or, you know, settling down and not acting like a fucking child, doing emotional inner work, whatever it is, they know they're going to have to step up their game. And I think they feel a little bit intimidated by that. I think so. You know, it's almost like they want to be a lost boy. They just want to live in Never Never Land and be a little kid for the rest of their life, you know? Well, I guess let's just jump straight into the advice on this. What's the advice? What's the advice for the Cancerian Collective? World card reversed. You know what that means, right? That's the card of a repeat cycle. Ten of Swords reversed. You know what? Okay. How about this? I wouldn't even think about connecting with this person until you are 100% solid that they couldn't trigger you no matter how hard they tried. Could you do that? Could you do that? And I'm going to take it a step further. I'm not saying that you hold your composure together and pretend not to be triggered. Now that's good. That's a step in the right direction. I'm not saying it's not. But I'm saying all the way down to your core. If you tried to trigger me, you couldn't. Try as you may. You're not going to get a reaction out of me. You're not going to get me to cuss you out. You're not going to piss me off. Go ahead and try it. You're not going to. Because I genuinely don't give a fuck. Genuinely. It's not like I care and I'm pretending not to. Like, I'm genuinely so solid with myself. Go ahead and try to trigger me. It ain't gonna work. Do you think that you could work to get to that point? Because what would have to happen is once you get to that point, there's only one way the two of you will be able to make this work. And it's gonna require them to step their game up. They're going to have to. There's going to be no choice beyond that. Because on your end, there is no going back from that. You know, once you step into that vibration, there ain't no going back. Once you build your building blocks that solid around your psyche and around your emotions, and you're that genuinely solid from the inside out, there's no going back. Ain't no dropping down to meet them. They're going to have to step up to meet you. They're going to have to. Problem is the paradox. You know what the paradox is? Once you step into that energy, it's not very likely that you'll even be interested in having this person in your life. But if you did want to bring them into your life, that's what would have to be done. It's paradoxical. It's a catch-22, you know? There is a chance here. I'm saying this because there is a slim chance. There is a slim chance that if you could do so much growth, so much healing, and so much evolution. You know what usually happens, though? See, what you have to understand is that 90% of the time, people are triggering you on purpose. You know why? Because it validates their existence. People who go around trying to trigger people, especially somebody who you've had in your life before, but anybody really, what they want is they want to feel seen. They want to feel like they make some kind of difference. So even if it's a negative difference, I want to make some kind of difference. If I can't even get you to cuss me out, then that means that I am just completely fucking invisible, right? So that, and again, this goes across the board in life. Family, friends, fucking complete strangers, you know, haters and trolls on the internet, past people who used to have emotional control on you, but they don't no more. It's all the same thing. It's all desperately, desperately searching to be seen, right? So what usually happens is they try to trigger you and they can't. So they try a little harder and they can't. And they keep trying and trying and trying and trying. And then they get frustrated. They get scared. The feeling that in their mind, my existence is so invalid and irrelevant, then they freak out and they blow the fuck up. And they'll explode on you. It's usually what happens. And it's sad. I would recommend that if you're able to, you don't let it get to that point. If you can. But there is a slim chance that if you're able to stand tall and stand strong in that energy, that person could see, God damn, you're about to slip away from me. I'm going to step up to your level. And let's see if we can make this work. And there might be one or two of you who could successfully build a life partnership off the back of that. It's possible. All right. Let's see what's going on with the singles and the person that you're interested in. Single Cancerians. Whoa. Well, would you look at that? I didn't even get to finish saying what I was going to say, and this jumped out immediately. You know what that is, right? That's the card of walking away. Damn, dog. Are you just walking away from this? Four of Pentacles. Some of you dealing with a third-party situation. Could be somebody at the workplace for some of you. So this is just a general overview. Now, there is a karmic tie here. I think there is uncleared karma between the two of you. I think so. But it's not really telling me why you're just up and abandoning this situation altogether. Maybe some of you are finding out about a third party. But something is bringing this to a sudden, abrupt, and unexpected end. And it doesn't look like you were planning on this. But I feel like you are making the decision that you know aligns with your highest good. Even if it's a hard decision to make. God damn, dog. All in the same spread. You know what that means? That right there means I'm done. I'm done. I'm well done. I'm extra motherfucking crispy. Dun 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 dun. Dude, that's a lot for one spread right there. You know what, though? I can tell you just by looking at this right here. This, if you stay on the path you're on right now, I don't need a tarot card to tell you you're going to level the fuck up off of this. You're going to level the fuck up. I'm going to tell you what, I don't know who needs to hear this. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your sign is. I don't care why you're watching this video. Whenever you make one of those hard decisions, really hard, to walk away from something, even if it rips your fucking heart out to walk away from it, because you know that's what needs to be done, you level up. You're going to level the fuck up. You're going to level up. See, every level up, whenever we hear the term level up, we tend to think that once I level up, I'm going to notice this big change. Sometimes, but not always. The level up process is like climbing a staircase, you know? Now, when you make a decision like this, you're going to be skipping 3 or 4 stairs. Oh, yeah. So I can already tell you. But the question is, do you have the strength to keep climbing? A lot of people, when faced with this decision like this, they get weak and they fall back down. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see the person you're dealing with's feelings, energies, and intentions. How do they really see you? How do they really feel about you? What's their energy look like in general? What kind of person are they? King of Pentacles, man. The King of Pentacles is kind of a cold, dry individual that, when it all comes down to it, King of Pentacles doesn't really give much of a fuck. Not really. Very cold, dry, matter of fact, it is what it is kind of person. Kind of like the King of Swords, similarly. 10 of Cups reversed. I don't think this person's trying to settle down with nobody. You surprised to see this one here? Nope. This is not somebody that you can fully trust. Nope. Nope. This seems like a service to self type of individual. You know, it's all about me. I'm going to get what I want, and I don't care what I have to do to get it. So, yeah, ain't much else I can say about that. Some of you dealing with an Aquarius. I also have Leo. Could be a fellow Cancer for some of you. I have 2 Cancer cards here, actually. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Got the game player card. 7 of Swords. Yeah. I think you know everything you need to know about this. I think you do. Let's see if there's any advice for you. Any advice for the Cancerian Collective? That look familiar? I'm going to try to figure out different ways of wording some of these pieces of advice. That can be hard to do. I had a friend of mine a couple of weeks ago ask me, do you ever feel like you just keep repeating yourself? And I was like, yes. Oh my fucking God. Because when it comes to the dating world and all of the relationship problems that we're having, do you know that 90% to 95% of the problems in the dating world can all fit into one of like 5 or 10 little categories? There's not very many. And that's probably even pushing it. Honestly, if I really sat down and thought about it and wrote it all out, and gave me about an hour or 2, I could probably fit every single problem in the dating world today into maybe 4 or 5 boxes. So, coming up with new creative ways to explain things, though, is the trick. It's the challenge. So what you're going through right now is very normal. It's very natural. The universe has shown you this person's true colors. And the ego doesn't like that. Because the ego has already painted the portrait within its own mind of who this person is. Well, the colors in which you painted this person in your mind are inaccurate. The universe is showing you their true colors. Don't try to repaint them. That's hard. Oh, that's painful. Because you have fallen in love with who you thought this person was. You've fallen in love with who you wanted this person to be. And now the universe is showing you that the person that you fell in love with doesn't exist. The person you're in love with, you invented in your own imagination. And not that it's your fault, not saying that. You know, as long as you're dealing with an honest, dependable, respectable person of integrity and dignity, then the picture that you painted in your mind should have been a relatively accurate depiction of who this person actually was. But if you're dealing with a dishonest, deceitful, lying, manipulative, backstabbing little fuckbag, eventually it's inevitable. The universe is eventually going to show you that you painted the wrong picture. Here's that person's true colors. And the ego hates that. Because the ego is scared to death of having to rethink something. You know why? Because the ego knows things on a level that everything is connected. Everything involving who you are right now in this moment is connected. From the minute you took your first fucking breath Everything that happened between that point and now is all connected. Every experience you've ever had between your first fucking breath and this moment is what turned you into the person that you are. Now, if I have to go back and break a link in that chain, I might have to rethink everything. Then I run the risk of realizing that I might find out that my whole fucking identity is bullshit. My whole worldview is based on lies. I might find out that I'm not even who I think I am. That's what the ego's going through. It's usually on a subconscious level. By the time it gets to the conscious mind, it just feels like feelings of anxiety and fear, and you don't really realize what it is. But this is what's going on a subconscious level. When you're shown somebody's true colors, the ego is freaking the fuck out because it's afraid that if you break a link in that chain, that I might have to rethink everything. I might have to rethink my whole childhood. You know, it ain't that serious. That's what the ego has to understand. The ego has to understand that it's not that serious. It takes practice. It's always hard, but it takes practice. When a person shows you their true colors, believe them. There's nothing wrong with stepping back and saying, oh shit, oops, I was a dumbass. That's who the fuck you are? That's who you are. Whoa, I'm an idiot. I'm a dumbass. Oops. That's what the ego hates to admit. The ego hates to admit that it's an idiot. But it is. We're all idiots. We're all dumbasses. We're humans. We don't know shit. We're all idiots. Getting the ego to understand that it's okay to be a dumbass. It's okay to realize that you've been fooled. You've been conned. And going through this, you're going to do quantum leaps in spiritual evolution. This could turn you into a different person. I know you hear me use this phrase a lot, but this could turn you into an unrecognizable version of yourself that your friends and family have to get to know all over again. So just know that. Stay on that path. Blessings are fucking waiting for you around the corner. I promise you that. Okay? All right. I feel like those were the messages that my Cancerian family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is down here in the description. Don't forget, tomorrow, August 30th at 11 a.m. Pacific time is going to be our next round of weekly live readings. They're back on now, y'all. $22.22. Yes, you can pre-order on my website. A few have come in here over the last couple of hours, but the list of pre-orders is still really small. So those of you who order now and overnight will be in the very front of the line. So you can read up more about that on my website. Link is in the description, all right? All right, I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.